All right, everybody, welcome back to Tech Packs Are Due. My name is Jake. What's up? It's another sketch session coming up, and today I'm going to show you how to draw the sketch that I got the most likes on, like ever, in my posts. I'm going to try to recreate it today. We'll see how that goes. I've tried it, tested out my own methods, but let's see if I can get some of the things that I've done in the past. I kind of think it's a cool idea to go back and do some of these old sketches again, revisit them. The ones that I used to do, just firing out ideas, to try to get my work seen by people. Break down how I did it, what I was looking at, thinking about, as I did each one. Specifically this group I called the blue sketches in my mind. And I was posting them, consistently thinking about I was actually looking at speedboats as reference. But as I look back at some of these sketches, I look at some of the blurs and the fades and all the things that I had on them. I'm like, I don't even know how I did that. So I'm going to try my best here to show you. I workshopped it. I kind of did it, and you can already see the final. It's not 100% the same, but I'm going to do it live right now. See how it goes. And in a second, we will start this over. Okay. So you can see I can have everything on one layer right now, because I'm going to get rid of it and start over. All right, let's see if I can do this. Thanks for coming back and always, taking the time to be with us, sit with us, as we continue to build this channel out. We're just trying to do fun things, things that will hopefully help you in your journey of sketching, techniques and tips that I use, and that I come kind of in contact along the way, as I talk with more and more people, that tries to influence my sketching, and I'll just try to pass it along. So thanks for being with us, Colin and I, as we build out this channel, what we're trying to do to make honest, amazing high-level footwear content that you can come to, you can reference, and use in your journey to be a footwear designer, become a footwear designer, or if you just like shoes and sneakerheads like all of us are, who just want to see how the sausage is made, so to speak. So here we are. We're going to do this thing. I'm probably just going to talk about random shoe stuff as we go, because hopefully that'll keep it interesting. But yeah, so like and subscribe to our page. We are growing. We're going quickly, and we just want to keep pushing out that content and pushing that like number up, so that we can, hopefully make this bigger and bigger, and make it something for everyone to enjoy. And as I'm thinking about this, I really like those old, I'm going to get going, but I really like those old, how to draw, those old how to draw cars books. I used to really get into those. And I think it's, technology has come a long way. That was in the 90s. That was elementary school time. And technology has come such a way where I think it'd be just so cool to have a video version of those things, how I draw shoes. That's kind of what sketch session is going to be. Okay. Don't know why I said it like that. For these sketches, what I did is kind of what we talk about with some of the other people we've had on, is I just want to create a blue background. Some people start with gray. Some people start with a paper kind of feel on their digital sketches. And so what I'm doing is just setting up a simple background so that I can work off of. And the whole point is so that I can have bright whites, that can stand off the page. that's literally the only reason that I do it. Hit me up in the comments if you have a reason. You do what you do. But what I am going to say is with these sketches, as I try to copy stuff, what I do is I bring it in and I just pull from the palette that I've used here. And, so right now what we're going to see is I'm going to try to rough this sketch out, just like wireframe, whatever. And I'm trying to get the shape as best I can. So I'm going to create a new layer, go for it. Hit a ground plane, or for me, since I don't know that I care about ground planes. I care about the bottom of the shoe. Since it's kind of flat, I did this kind of like flat thing. Start there and then catch this kick up. And then, and start that top line, kind of a swoopy top line. I'm actually going to try to really get it this time. And I think one thing you'll realize a lot of footwear designers do is you have to draw a line a lot to really get it. And I'm really drawing, and I'm moving my whole arm to capture it. I know for me, I really like geometry. So, and what I mean by that is like straight lines, straight angles. And so I know when it's been a long time since I've drawn this shoe. This is a long time ago. 3 years to be exact. Almost 3.5 years. So I know specifically when I was doing these, I was thinking about just like hard geometry and like fenders of, like sheet metal and bent metal and all that stuff. So I think it would definitely be, they're definitely straight lines. And so I know like off of here, I came and then kicked straight down and then kind of came out. Okay. So kind of got that little trick of the trade. We've done this before, but you go in here and you can distort. And if you don't like how, that's kind of the magic of, Procreate, is that you don't have to be like okay with what you have. You can change things up and squash things and get proportions better by not redrawing. But since I do like one of these lines, I'm just going to pull it. I think I like that. And just kind of clean up some of the hairiness. These unconfident hairlines as I was trying to figure out this geometry that I created. Yeah. So I actually think it might be a little sharper. When I did create these sketches, I don't know what's going to get likes. Sometimes I do create sketches just for the likes. And especially back then when I was really trying to get my work seen by more people, I didn't know what was going to get, likes and stuff. And so I was just cranking out like work and, man, I had about 9 sketches in a row where I garnered probably, 4-ish thousand likes, or maybe a couple thousand, but, I just never know. And, yeah. So it's just one of those things where you just create for the love of the game. And then I saw that it was sticking and I was like, well, I'm going to do more of these. Okay. So now I'm going to try to capture the upper, and I really exaggerated like like if I'm looking at this shoe in real life, make sure I get this. Like the last for me would probably be sitting down in here. Like it's really down in there in order to get this, like this straight line. So it would look like the upper is kind of chopped because there's a lot of upper sitting inside the tooling, which I think gives you that speedboat, like the speedboat vibe that I was going for. The geometry is it's a non-normal kind of silhouette. And this silhouette might not even be possible. I think a lot of times we draw stuff as in footwear design that we can't necessarily make. But a lot of it we can make, and I'd emphasize sometimes it's also like the level you're at is whether or not you can make it or push for it. All right. Looking pretty good. Then I'm going to start bringing in some of these lines that I know are there. Okay. Nice. Okay. So largely speaking, I have roughed out this shoe. It's got that crazy collar kick. I was all in to like making shoes with interesting collars, be it that they might not even be comfortable at all. It's just like when you do shoes for a living, sometimes I think we just do things just to do them, even just to try them, even if like someone's done it. Like I'm not privy to like every shoe that's ever been done in history. Most of the times nothing's new. Like if you're thinking you're doing something new, especially if you're young, you think something that you're doing is fresh. It's probably not. It's probably been done a million times, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it either. Like I don't want people to think that they shouldn't just attack whatever. Okay, looking good. I still think this is sharper. Like hits here and then dives fast. Let's do that. So a lot of things, like another thing with Procreate is if you hold down, when you do a stroke and you hold down, it makes it straight. It's very handy. You can even do it with the eraser, even if you can't see it, which I can't see it sometimes, but okay, a lot faster. Upper looks okay. We might fix it as we go. So just that is roughed out. This one actually kicks. The kick has a kick. I'm not going to bother to get it like 1-to-1. So then I would kind of go in here and start, figuring out the tooling a little bit more. Also, maybe I would come in here and do this mid-tone. Grab, it's not exactly white, but it's not exactly... and I put it on its own layer. Sweet. I know I just covered everything up. Bear with me. Need that framework. It's important. I don't know if I don't want to be known for someone who says important. Trying to think about what's happened in shoes this week. We in Tech Packs are due. We have Mike Freeton's podcast we shot is done. That will be hidden. Be dropping soon. We will let you guys know when that's done and out. We will continue previewing it. We have done some teasers this week. Some of the teaser reels. Shout out to Mike for naming the innovation kitchen. He didn't want to take responsibility for it, and he said that when you get to the long form podcasts, he made that clear. He's like, I didn't do it. I just, people wanted to know what to be called, and I pitched, well, how are people going to know where we are? We're in the kitchen. That's, just stuff no one's going to know unless we talk to people. Now I'm going to come in and start doing these highlights and these shadows. This might be a little bit of a hit and miss trying to get it right, but it's a thick midsole. From what this is showing, if you were to really go in there and try to make that, it would be thick, a real thick bit of sidewall coming out off the upper, especially to get some of this stuff down in here, like this guy. In order to make that shadow and how the depth of this, it would be pretty massive. So let's dive that. Give a little check here. Okay, there we go. And yeah. So I'm trying to make my little car fender speedboat ramp. While I'm thinking about it, the Timberwolves beat the Warriors tonight. And I want to kind of put it out there. What is everyone thinking about the Ant 2? There's been some leaked images. How are we feeling about that? Looks really cool in my opinion. I think Adidas has been on just an incredible tear, aesthetically, having a point of view. I do want to say, I have played a little bit in the AE, and I wasn't a giant fan, but I am also a lightweight, and I realize that. Man, some of these fades, I don't even know. I've drawn this twice now since deciding I was going to do this, and I still can't get these fades like what I did back when I drew this. It makes me think I'm digressing. I don't know how I did it so clear and crisp like that. But yeah, it is trying to build that mid-tone up. I might just call that good. Yeah. I probably just had a lot of time to fuss with it and drop some of the opacity down and really fade it in. That actually looks pretty decent. I'm going to keep that. Just say I did it. Really pumped to have whoever's watching. Pumped to have you with me. None of this is lost on us, by the way. Colin and I realize we're living in a dream world where we're creating shoe content and living in shoe design. It's amazing to me that anyone cares right now, that we have 100 of you. I've got the subscribers on my page, the followers on my personal page. It's not lost on us. Okay, keep it clean here. Try to crisp this line up, get it real nice. Remember, clean lines, everything. It's everything in footwear. We know clean lines when we see them. If you want to know if your line's clean, tag me, ask me if your line work's looking good. And I'm taking some liberties. I'm not going like 100% on this old sketch, but right now it's looking pretty decent to me. And I want to almost leave it as is right now before I ruin something. Man, it's so clean how I fade that out. I don't even know. Trying to critique my own work. While saying I can't even do it. Can't do what I did in the past. I'll have to leave this fade behind. There we go. Now come in and clean it up. But it just transitions from a hard line to a fade so well. I don't know. You all gave me the likes on this, and maybe that's all there is to it. Oh, that looks nice. Sweet. Let's take it, run with it, get out of here. All right. Now I just continue to sample colors from around the sketch because I don't want to recreate old palettes that I've done. Just jump in there, grab it. Sometimes I'll come in. This is a big no-no, but if you want a color, no, I'm not going to do it because I said don't do it. Come into the original line art and erase. What I was going to do is I was going to use the blue to kind of color over, but if you want to do any kind of colorways, you cannot mess you just can't mess up your line work. You can't just draw over layers and use layers to bandage up layers. You gotta be really careful what you do if you're gonna use any of this for colorway work. And I'll probably do an episode of setting up artwork for setting up layers for colorways and stuff. Cool. So that's the strategy of the upper. Now I'm going to head up to our strategy of the tooling, and I'm going to go here. New layer. Come in with, let's do. So I love the studio pen. Should have been saying that all along, but just coming in and make the color block. Pretty simple color block here. The sepper comes around, ends there. These are just nice concept sketches. They're probably taken a little too far for a sketch, like a true concept sketch. Maybe taken to near render. But I mean, shout out, like I used to look at, renderings from guys who like went to art center from like the 80s, and they used to like do these massive renderings of concepts for presentations, of course. But I used to think they were so cool, and so now this is my kind of like my digital art version of all that. When I build uppers, I like to think like build it as it actually is built. So I think what I would do here is put the layer under, because if I'm thinking of if this is a big giant stitch and turn that's coming over across the side, really what would happen is we would I would say this layer for this panel would be under the blue, because I think that's just how I would build it. I think so. Right now it doesn't matter because it's going under that blue. I guess you could build it the other way where the blue is on top, but I will not do that. Case to be made for both, but I like kind of building it from the ground up. And to me, I just think this layer would be on the bottom. So it looks like I put like little skin overlays. So we can add those on top of this. Picking a blue. I guess we could source it from the image. If I'm going to copy someone, why not copy myself? I might take some liberties here also to kind of update the sketch, refresh it. Don't do exactly the same thing, because that's no fun to just do a straight copy. But it would make sense to just have it be a straight line. Awesome. And then this little thing up front. You just, on the redraws of this, I have changed this, but this time I might change it a little bit, but might not. Sketch session is fun to me. I like showing people what I'm doing. I don't think it should be a mystery that like how I draw and what I do. I think what's important is that you are you and I am me, and we can't replace each other. I'm not going to draw like Tinker draws. I'm going to draw like I want to draw. Okay, looking pretty good. I know I've made the toe cap longer, but I think that's fine. I think at this point what I would do is I have these two overlays. Might reduce the opacity, come in here and add the mesh. Again, footwear material brushes. Can't stress enough how incredibly important it is to have these when you're in these conceptual pieces. How fast it turns a sketch into a material. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to, it's kind of a stylistic thing, but kind of take a airbrush and bump it back a little bit in some places. So it's not, I think when you see a shoe, you don't always pick up every single mesh hole. And so I just think it adds to the dynamic nature of the sketch to not have the mesh just be blown out all over the place. Let's see. Now I think I would go from here. I would go into lacing, and that would be your top layer. You come in here, grab your It's red. Forgot about that. So I'm going to go in here and grab the red. I really like the red that I used. It was like a red orange. Let's put that on the top. I'm not going to take a ton of time with these because I just know I didn't take a ton of time with these. Okay, got that. I only have 3 of them. And I know I was thinking specifically like big, giant cord laces. Don't ask me why, but I thought this shoe is so minimal. I thought it would be so kind of like contrary to what you would think if you just had big cords going up and over the shoe. I just felt like it was a detail that would be kind of ironic. I don't like to be predictable, and it seemed too predictable to do some kind of light, airy lace. So I just didn't. Okay. And do another one. I like to butt it up right against the lace loop. Oh man, I should have come all the way around here. So you come up, and I try to make it like as if I were actually, laced them up. What would that lace look like if it was actually locked in there? It would really wrap around. And I like how bumpy it would be going over the top of the midfoot. So I did these chunk laces. For the purposes of this sketch, I'm not going to go into shading the laces, which I did on the Post-it sketch. What did I do over here? Yeah, simple. I just brought it around. All right. Go me. I brought it around. Simple stuff. And then up and around, and trying to go fast, but not too fast. And another note, Colin and I would love to review a portfolio. If you feel like you would like to come on this show, we'd have to vet you first, of course. Come on Tech Packs or Do, and we would live review your portfolio. Let us know if you want to be a part of that. We might be asking people individually because we know portfolios are interesting things, tough things to just allow someone to look at, but we would love to get into how I see portfolios. Be fun. Okay, I think we're moving on. Just trying to show how quick these sketches can be. All right. Now into this part of the upper. I don't care for these little pods. I don't know why I did them. I like that I did this little color pop through, but I don't know that I care for that. So in the new rendering I'm going to do is I'm going to do something completely different, is just do kind of some tight ribs. Let's go top. All right. So just do like, yeah, something like that, because I just don't care for what I did back then. I think it could be better. No, I would take this blue and I would kind of do something in its family. So when you come back over, it feels harmonious. I don't think it's smart to just like trial different colors. It would be cool if this could come up like all the way up. I actually don't know if that's possible, but you have this nice super padded collar with ribs on them. All right. And then you can go in and do what I did, which is add the material. Again, let's do sideways. Something about these brushes, when you turn, you rotate your canvas, the brush rotates as well. I'm sure that's a setting somewhere, but kind of crazy. All right, go through here. We're almost done. It's kind of nuts how it all just comes together. Sometimes I think about that when I'm working, like how many different check boxes do I need to hit before it's done? And sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes I arrive at the end before I even knew what I was doing. Pull the laces all the way to the top. I don't know why my laces aren't at the tip top here, but sweet. And then let's do the thing. Oh, I made a mistake. That's okay. Well, we're just going to go for it because I don't want to start over. Take that tilt. Oh boy. Try to get it close. There it is. That's good enough. Like for this. Add that in there. All right. Now we're at the point where like I would go through here and just add all of the juicy little bits that make it like look finished and look good. Everything looks nice, but now it's just like, okay, let's add all the highlights, shadows, line work that make it like really pull off, like jump off the page. First thing I would do, make sure there's nothing floating. There we go. First thing I'm going to do is really beef up the line work on the edges and in the tool. So I'm going to come in with my trusty studio pen and hit these edges really hard. And I've said it before that like there aren't lines in the actual shoe, so I don't like to have like actual lines in like a render. But in a concept sketch like this, like you could even go as far as to say is like, look, this is a webbing that's, running the or an overlay really that's running the entire ankles or heel seam, you can say this is actually like something I was functionally thinking about, or it's like it's super wide, and that seam tape is wide. It's covering up some stuff. But when I do sketches, like where I think the natural shadow is going to be, again, pull your laces all the way up so they don't get covered by anything. Come on. Oh man. Pull your laces up. Come up. Trying to go above. Oh my gosh. Technology. Well, whatever. We'll just keep going. When I know there's going to be shadow, I like to be like a heavier line. When I know there's not going to be shadow, I like to take the line away, make it really thin. That's another adjustment I think I'll do on this sketch. As we're kind of going in the fly here. I do like a line, like a crisp line on the right here, so that it's very clear, like where the bite line is, how the bite line's moving. I like that. Doesn't mean like you have to like that, but I like having the bite line look nice. And then, there's this over here. It's a whole like lace loop thing, or a pole loop back here. I have it floating. That's for effect, obviously. Now let's do the other little things. Coming around this line just adds a little bit. Looks like I have, some rubber here. I think that'd be fun. Let's go all the way over here. Think about what that looks like. And then there's I like the rubber edge showing up. So, there's like contact rubber back down here. And then making the edge uneven so that it looks like there's like a lug pattern happening. Having like a web thickness and then a lug thickness. Pretty fun. I don't know what the tread looks like. That could be a fun addition to this one. I add a little bit of kind of finish over here. So it's like a highlight edge. That might not even be possible. Same with this. Like this right here is nonsense. I don't know what this is. But we can put it in here. Maybe it is like a deboss, or is it an emboss or a recess, or okay. And now there's other little things that I like to do that some people think are random, but I don't think are random. Really like to catch that edge. Coming on these overlays right here. You got this line that comes up. It would be the highlight. Because if you think about this stitch and turn seam that I've put on here, it will have a bit of a hill and a valley as you think about the stitch and turn seam. So there will be a shadow down here. Where the material's stitched together and rolled. If you want to get even fancier, you can take the mesh, lighten it up, add a slight highlight because there's going to be a little caught reflection as that material rolls down and they butt up against each other, especially because it's white. No one's going to notice that, but I am. And then come down in here. This TPU skin is going to have some thickness to it. So giving it a shadow edge. It's always fun to help kind of catch attention. Man, and like that, I think we might have done it. I think it's cool, like this, pull from the sketch. Got a little highlight up there for no reason. That might be good to do on another layer, and you take it, you put it on. And what I like to do sometimes is I'll do something like that. I'll come in with the airbrush and just start like knocking it away a little bit. So fade it out. So it's not 100% consistent, but it's there. So like where the light is really coming down, it catches it. And just like that, I think we've got most of it. And then I said I came in with this orange. I don't understand where that orange comes in, or why. But like I thought it would be cool to have like some sort of like heel stabilization. This just doesn't look like a super stable shoe. So I thought it'd be like a TPU heel clip back here that's like stopping you from rolling backward. I remember thinking that about this shoe, so I'm going to say it here. And that can be any shape. Took some liberties right here. I know I like to do little graphics, so I came in with this. Then you could come in, if you wanted to like make it look like it's shiny, hit it with a little, a little bit of that. With the airbrush erase, and then I don't know, sometimes I like to break it up, little tech nods. Looks like I put some logoing here, or maybe this is just like a big tack stitch. Again, for reasons unknown. And then took one of these lugs and went red with it. Took a 4-foot one, went red with it. Now the reason I'm doing all these on a different layer is again because then I can change the color really, really fast. I haven't done a lot of that on this where I'm like trying to make it, able to be colored. So red, violet in here. That's more red than that, huh? Yeah. That I put down here for some reason. Sometimes I like to imagine trajectory labels on shoes, like scouters from Dragon Ball Z or something, or stuff like that. And you take that and just start washing it back. It's like data or something. Old shoes used to have like graphics like this all the time. Like you're pulling up, I don't know, whatever. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like it's not a functional thing. And I think it'd be cool to have a red tab, or like the collar lining splits, and you get a little bit of redness at the top. Little tricks like that to pull stuff around. Okay, last little bit here, and then we will be done. Sitting on a solid 50 just to get this sketch looking right, which is not bad, honestly. If we're doing something as as, as in depth as this sketch is, by no means is a simple sketch. Put that on. We want to put our shadows on a multiply, and then if it's too dark, pull it back, which I think is good, like right there. And then if you need to like clip some of it, come in with an airbrush and just kind of hit the places you think maybe you've gone a little too far, or if it's gone too much up the forefoot, or it needs to be sharpened, kind of hit it. And then I think I'm looking pretty good for the background. Oh, there was another thing that I liked on this sketch that I want to include. Excuse me. So I put these lines in. I don't know if I thought like trampoline effect was a thing. I mean, looking at this shoe, it's like so spacey. But I thought it would be cool to have some ridge lines through here. That's kind of fun. Again, another little kind of random techie thing. You can take a little bit of the edge off of them and then have them follow this groove. And just like trying to work with what's already there is like indicating like this is a speed line or something. Like it follows this whole trajectory backward. Okay, last thing I want to do is the funky background. I just think this is, a lot of people, like trendy, sketchy guys have done this. But you put this in the back. Maybe that scale's a little too big. Put this in the background. You just kind of not slap it around, but I like to include that side and that side. Come in through here, actually, and then I'm going to bend it. We can warp with the mesh. We can do whatever. Let's go here. Big rectangle. So then we can bend it and move it, and then we can trim it. So what I'm going to do is just kind of pull and warp. I don't really know what I was doing when I did this, but let's say I was doing stuff like this. Sure, it's good enough. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but then I'm going to come back through here and just kind of wash it away. So we don't really know where it's starting, where it's going. And then just drop it all the way down. All the way down. There we go. And then just keep kind of washing it away. And there you have it, everybody. Just wash it away. There we go. It's like a Bob Ross meets footwear design. That's good enough for me. As far as recreating this, it's really about that sculpting, getting that nice highlight, using the midtones, and then simple upper blocking. I mean, as simple as it gets. Then hitting the highlights and the shadows where they need to be. It's not a complicated recipe, I would say. And I see, like, I do this all the time where there's like little bits everywhere. I'll find those and erase them. But if I don't want to take the time, when we come up into this layer, I'm just going to go over the top, get rid of them, and maybe add a little, to the back or whatever. But that's it. That's basically what I was thinking when I sketched this one. It was a lot of fun. I think really just the creation of this sculpting was really fun. Thinking about how this rolls over. If I were to just kind of sometimes we'll do this in design, talking to designers, talking to our managers or whatever. I'll say like, well, this is what I was thinking. Like I saw this and I think it rolls like this in the section view. Then maybe it cuts and then this dives and then it like comes out like that. I think it would be just kind of crazy. I mean, that's how many millimeters I think you have to come out to. Like if we're drawing a straight line from here, and that's the sidewall. If the sidewall was straight, that's how many millimeters I think you're rolling out to get this giant, because you're thinking about this giant shadow starts from here to here. And that's really like how much the from the bite line to that shadow, that's really probably how far you have to come out. And you have to drop down to get this big voided shadow that's being cast because, you know, the top's coming out so much. And then in order to pick up a little bit of the bottom, you kind of pop out and then you might just roll under when you get to the rubber. Anyway, just a little section view for you. We'll do that all the time. Just kind of like saying, this is what I'm thinking. And man, I'm just thinking big rollover and then drop. Super fun. Well, hey, for those of you who like this, that gave it its 801 likes from the past, shout out to you. And I might post this as is on the Facebook or on the social media. But that's Tech Packs Are Due. That's Sketch Session. Thank you for joining us. Tech Packs Are Due is all about helping footwear designers, helping people get into footwear design. And let me just make that big for everybody. It's all about footwear design, and, you know, the real stuff, the most real, honest, authentic footwear design stuff that we can put out. Appreciate everyone coming and to this sketch session, listening to me rant about this. Appreciate you. Again, like and subscribe to the page. We love it. We are so pumped to bring this content to you, and we're going to keep doing it. And you know, hopefully get better as we go along. Come back for the long form podcast. That's, you know, weekly, where Colin and I talk about shoes, talk about work, talk about guests that we have on. And we also have hopefully a monthly guest. We're trying to get that done. At Deadstock Coffee, shout out to Deadstock for having us over there and being so generous with their space. But that's Tech Packs Are Due. Sketch Sesh. Join us again. I'm going to keep sketching. I'm doing these tutorials. I'm trying to mix them up. Do a little Illustrator soon, and do a couple colorway type sketches. So thanks for joining us. Enjoy the summer weather's coming up. We are excited here to kind of hit the warm weather, get into the summertime, be able to wear some shorts, get out there. Come back and join us. We're excited. And wear your shoes, because that's all we can say. All right. We'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.